guys, this is Heather from healthyeatingstartshere.com. Alright, so it's winter, there's snow outside, it's cold. I've had a lot of people asking me about weight gain. And winter weight gain is kind of a regular thing. So here's what I want to say. There are some things to think about in terms of why it happens, and then there are some ways that we can overcome it. So what you want to think about is the fact that, it's cold outside, so you're not going to be out, you're going to be inside a lot of the time and wanting to stay warm, so a lot of the time we wind up eating more than we normally would in the summer. In the summer you're outside, you're exercising more, so you're being more active, your metabolism's faster, and you don't have as much time to eat usually because you're out having fun. Whereas in the winter, a lot of people kind of stick inside. Now some people it's the opposite, so we wind up having a little bit more calories in the winter. Could be partially that your body wants to keep itself warm, and so it's asking for more calories, but it could also just be comfort, that we're looking for comfort. And your thyroid also changes with the change of temperature, so the thyroid is what regulates your metabolism, and as that changes, it's going to change how you burn calories. So when the weather changes from warmer to cooler, your thyroid is going to take a little time to adjust. Same thing when you're going from cool to warm. So just pay attention to how hungry you actually are. There are differences between days and between seasons, and a lot of time we get in the habit of eating a certain amount during the day, but we don't always need that. Sometimes it's good to take a day where you just take a break from feeling like you should eat 3 meals a day and however many snacks you usually have, and the type of snacks and all that kind of stuff, and just go with what you feel like eating. Your weight can fluctuate, so if you're going by the number on the scale, keep in mind that the time of day you weigh yourself is going to have a huge effect. Now, I don't normally weigh myself at all, but sometimes I do it as kind of an experiment to see. I've noticed that for myself, I can fluctuate a few pounds all during the day, depending on what time of day I weigh myself. There's water in my system, there's food in my system, and it can fluctuate by quite a bit. So keep that in mind, and what I tend to do more than weighing myself is just going by how my clothes fit. And so that can be a little disconcerting if you're putting on your winter clothes from last year and they're a little bit more snug, but it's not a huge deal. So what I want to say next is there are some strategies that we can use to overcome this winter weight gain, but at the same time, we should be okay with gaining a few pounds here and there, and then losing a few pounds here and there at different times of the year. As long as you're in a reasonable range, the weight gain and loss isn't going to make too much of an impact on your body. It's when you start getting into the range of, say, 10% of your body weight, that's when you want to really take some effort to get back in line. And you can also look at BMI ranges. They are slightly inaccurate depending on how much muscle mass you have versus fat mass, but they're a guideline. So if you have an average type of body, you can look at BMI and see if you're within those ranges as to whether you need to gain or lose some weight. Alright, so let's talk about some strategies for overcoming this winter weight gain. What I really like to do to keep me from snacking continuously through the day, especially if I see other people having treats, is I like to drink tea. And what I do is I just get flavors that I really love. So I love chai teas and fruity teas and teas with a lot of spices or flavorings in them. There's a really nice chocolate tea made with cocoa shells and some other nice herbs and spices, and so those things keep me full and warm and comforted and keep me from munching on chocolate all day long while I see other people munching on chocolates. Okay, so that's one thing that I do, and then if I can't get outside to exercise, I'll just try to do some kind of exercise inside. So whether it's yoga or some kind of stationary exercise. One year I ran stairs, which was kind of brutal, but I got podcasts going and managed to do it. And again, just being okay with those few pounds fluctuation is going to take you a long way. Again, you don't want to let it get too far out of control, and especially with the holidays, you want to make sure you don't overeat too much, but there is a balance between enjoying yourself and letting yourself have those holiday treats and have a wonderful holiday meal with your family and friends, but you can keep it somewhat healthy and not totally overboard. Alright, so I hope those tips were helpful, and I'm sure a lot of you have some other tips to share as well, so feel free to post those in the comments, and I will see you later this week with a recipe. So have a good one, guys!